Jeff the Landshark is one of the best healers in all of Marvel Rivals, and today I've got the ultimate guide on how you can master him. Jeff is what I would consider an off healer in Marvel Rivals. However, if used correctly, Jeff can absolutely carry your entire team. Today I'm going to break down all of his abilities and his ultimate, and even give you 3 scenarios where you probably shouldn't be using Jeff. To start off with Jeff's Mouse 1, he has a healing splash. Jeff's Mouse 1 to use from start to finish without lifting Mouse 1 takes about 5 seconds to fully complete. In that span, you can do an insane amount of team healing. Another key thing for Jeff's Mouse 1 is it has almost unlimited range. It does have some fall off. However, if you just adjust for that distance, you can aim a little bit higher and heal your team almost across the map. Moving on to Jeff's right click, he has a high speed water sphere that deals damage upon impact. Jeff's right click does splash damage, so if you can get enemies in a confined space, you can deal damage to multiple enemies at once. Moving on to Jeff's E ability, he throws out a healing bubble. When teammates go over this bubble, not only do they get healed, they also get a movement boost. So you can use these bubbles at the beginning of games and allow your team to get to that initial domination point or that payload faster. If a teammate collects one of these bubbles, it also knocks up nearby enemies. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it will give your team a little space to breathe once getting healed. You can throw out up to 6 of these bubbles, but to regen, it takes about 7 to 8 seconds to regen just one bubble. So if you use all of your bubbles, you're going to be waiting a few seconds to even heal anybody. This will tie into one of those tips at the end of this video. Moving on to Jeff's left shift, he has a hide and seek ability, allowing him to dive underground, only showing his dorsal fin. This will allow you to heal yourself and gain a ton of movement speed. Guys, Jeff left shift, you can also wall ride. This is extremely important when you're trying to get out of big team fights or you're getting dived by frontline DPS. This is especially helpful against ground-based DPS. You can easily wall climb and get to a high ground area where you're absolutely safe and continue healing your team. I see way too many Jeff players using their E ability to heal themselves when that is way too important to use on healing your teammates. It is so crucial that you use your left shift to heal yourself as Jeff. You get an insane movement speed buff, and only your dorsal fin is showing, allowing you to become extremely more difficult to be targeted. We're going to move on to Jeff's passive. It's probably one of the best passives in the game because he doesn't need to do anything. It's just an automatic buff. Jeff's passive, rightfully named Oblivious Cuteness, is a ability where he takes reduced damage from all critical hits. For those of you that don't know what a critical hit is, it's basically headshots. So when you have divey DPS or a Hawkeye playing in backline, just pinging off your backline healers with headshots, Jeff is a little bit less susceptible to those kind of divier DPS. Alright, let's break down Jeff's team up abilities. Starting off with new friends, this is also the same ability that I showcased in my rocket guide. Jeff can mount on top of the head of Groot and deal damage and heal, all whilst not needing to move around himself. He just passively moves wherever Groot goes. It is important to note that when you're on top of Groot's head, you do take damage reduction. However, you are much more targetable because now you're sitting on top of your tank's head. Moving on to the last team up ability, this is the Frozen Spitball. You have to be teamed up with a Luna Snow. This ability allows both Namor and Jeff to tap into ice energy, and when you spit out these ice balls, it allows you to instantly regen your abilities. Now, Jeff really only has his E that can ever be on cooldown because your shift is always available. And to finish it off, guys, we have the most fun ultimate in all of Marvel Rivals. Jeff swallows up everybody inside of his circle, and then you have the ability to either hold them inside of your mouth while stealing damage, or you can spit them out, typically off the edge of the map. I got 2 different situations on how you should use Jeff's ult. The first one being just traditionally where you swallow people up and you spit them off the side of the map. This works especially good if you've got a few number of people, 1 or 2, sometimes even up to 4. And then of course we have the Sui option where you jump off the map with them still in your mouth. I only recommend doing this when you have at least 2 healers or 2 tanks. The reason for this, guys, is because Jeff is a healer. It is extremely important for you to stay alive for your team. You are the backbone of the entire team. However, if you have a main healer like Cloak and Dagger, Luna Snow, or even Rocket, and you can get 2 of the enemy healers into your ultimate, then it may be beneficial for you to suicide because you're taking out both enemy healers guaranteed and you're leaving 1 healer alive giving your team the benefit. Now, at the beginning of this video, I said I had 3 instances where Jeff might not be the best character to use, and we're gonna break those down. Number 1 is if you're a more DPS style of healer, you probably shouldn't play Jeff. Jeff has the ability to deal a ton of damage. However, there is much better options out there if you want to be a damage style of healer. I see too many Jeffs hop on here, use their E exclusively for themselves, and then focus too much on dealing damage, leaving your team out to dry. This one kind of ties into the first point, and that's to always use your E on teammates. You get heals by clicking your left shift and going underground and moving. You passively heal yourself, and you don't need to use an ability to heal yourself. Now, always try to focus on using those E's, those bubbles, to try to heal your teammates, those bigger, tankier characters, because you can always dive underground and just get to the back line anyways as Jeff. Of course, there's scenarios where you want to use your E on yourself. A certain example would be if you were the only one alive on the point, delaying in overtime, you're waiting for your entire team to get back. That is obviously a good time where you want to try to maintain your life, and you can use that E ability on yourself. Alrighty, y'all, the last tip I have for you guys on when you maybe should not want to be using Jeff is if you're somebody who likes to save your ult for the perfect time. Guys, I want you to think for a second, how many times have you ever won a game in Marvel Rivals when it is a 6v5? The answer should be just about never. This is one of the most dependable games on having a full team versus another full team. So if you can use your ult early and just eliminate one healer or one tank, allowing your team to get a 6v5, use your ultimate. I see too many Jeffs waiting an entire round of payload or an entire round of domination for that perfect 5 or 6 man ultimate, when sometimes it never even presents itself. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you. My name is Life with Rum. This is only my 3rd video on Marvel Rivals, so if you did enjoy it, please subscribe. We're trying to take over the Marvel Rivals scene in 2025. I'll see you guys all later this week with another guide on another hero. I love you guys. Take it easy.